he might not be angry if he knows we're alive.
That was not your best opening.
That was not my best.
We'll get it next time. It's fine. We got to do another stream. Daredevil's going to be on tonight. The Boys and Invincible got new episodes at midnight. Like tomorrow. Shit.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, if every show is like this show that we're covering right now, I am not planning on sleeping. This is why I got rid of my Saturdays. I guess because this is, I don't know, it might be a shorter stream because it's only 2 like half-hour / maybe a little under a half-hour episodes, which will thoroughly break down in great length and detail for as long as we possibly can. But I do want to say a little bit of exciting news. I will be working on the channel a lot more. So stay tuned because there is so much stuff that I have seen that I've not done anything on. But now that my work schedule is freeing up, I'm going to be doing a lot more for the channel and also a lot more writing. So stay tuned.
Did you finish the first book yet?
I'm on that George R.R. Martin plan.
I think you're ahead of that curve because if I remember the last info, you've already sent it to the editor. I don't think George has sent The Winds of Winter to the editor, let alone A Dream of Spring.
Actually, to tell you the truth, as sad as it is, because I'm still doing rewrites, yeah, George, get on it. He's got top-notch editors. Like, they could literally come to his house at this point.
Don't be cranky, little baby. Sorry.
So, yeah, George, get on that. Anyways, so we are back here again, and I gotta say, I'm feeling like this year is gonna not be disappointing for so many things. We had Daredevil, which you and me are kind of, I don't know.
There's a difference between being underwhelmed and disappointed.
And then we have Invincible, which has been fucking phenomenal. And now we have Shadow of Maul.
If only Invincible had decent animations. Then the show would just be so good then.
Dude, it's been hilarious, and I'm on a hill. So I feel like really weird because we got plenty of time. These episodes are short, so we're swinging back around to a point. But I liked that episode even more than you when we rated it. And the weakest episode that has a fucking 6 is that Clancy Brown episode. I don't understand it. Like, most of the reason, and I hate this, but they've said, "Oh, it feels like filler," but it doesn't really.
Talking about episode 4 of Invincible.
Yeah, the episode. Yeah. So apparently, a lot of people felt that was filler, or
I mean,
and the thing is,
if you're going based off the unbelievably technical definition of anything that's in the show that's not in the anime or the comic or whatever is filler, then how much of Dragon Ball Z is filler?
Dude, even the main fights are filler.
At least 30% of Dragon Ball Z is filler. If you're like, well, it wasn't in the anime or it wasn't in the manga.
And let's just take it out to they will literally talk like we both love Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z diehard fans here. But those motherfuckers talk for like 40 minutes and they fight for like 5. And I love every goddamn 5-minute fight we get. But let's be real. How many long battles do we actually remember where there wasn't a little bit of punching, a 20-minute dialogue, and then a little bit more punching, maybe building up a spirit bomb, like 30-minute dialogue? Like, let's not pretend that, you know, like, I get people's point, but with that being said, I've only got one complaint for this, and I'll get to it. And
I have one big complaint about the show too.
Yeah, mine is not so big. It's a little bit smaller. But I've always done this first, fucker. So this time you're gonna tell me, because I want to see if you and me are lining up, and I don't know if we're gonna notice the same thing. So tell me what your one complaint is, and then I'll get to mine.
My biggest complaint about Maul Shadow Lord, because it's a great fucking show, but it's so goddamn short. My God, man. Like, I watched the first freaking episode, and then boom, they're playing credits, and I was like, it feels like 5 minutes have gone by. So then the second episode started, and I was like, okay, what is the runtime of this? Because I didn't look at what the runtime was at all. And it says that it's like 22 minutes with the credits. And I was like, it's a 20-minute fucking show? And then I watched
Which is
the
good
second
that they're
episode.
giving us 2 episodes a week.
Thank God.
Thank God, because then
Oh.
that equals just about a episode.
I mean, it makes a lot more sense why they're releasing 2 a week if they're all going to be like
They
shorter
are
than a Cartoon Network show.
Which is fine. Okay, so actually, weirdly enough,
No, like, it's fine that it's short because they do not dick around in this show with getting on to the next fucking scene.
okay,
There's no
so
bullshitting
that
time.
my one complaint ties into yours, and like you just said, I still feel, and less than Daredevil because Daredevil's longer, but I feel like the pacing is slightly odd, and I felt, and I'll give you a good example for this. Kick me because I've never watched Bad Batch before. I know, boo me, throw tomatoes. I don't know why.
I watched like the first 10 episodes or something, and I haven't finished it.
It's fucking excellent. Finish it. Love the continuation. Straight. So what I did was, just to test it out, I watched Clone Wars season 7 and then went into Bad Batch. And remember, we talk about that thing with great people who actually write good shit. Bro Dave, Big Filoni. The way the fucking narrative, like, seamless from, you could literally go watch Clone Wars season 7, go into Bad Batch, and it just flows so nicely.
Oh yeah.
And with Maul, I get that, but, and I don't know if you picked this up, because of the length, and this is my small one tiny nitpick for this show, because I don't got many, it felt like the action sometimes was too quick and done and over with. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I feel like that was part of it that I liked, was as soon as Maul comes on the scene, he ain't dicking around. He's the fucking objective.
No, I felt like, okay, take the Maul fight from like season 7, and the prime example that I think fits well is when Ahsoka lets him out and he's fucking up the clones. I think that they don't hold shots for as long as I would like. And this is the artsy part of me, because I fucking enjoy this animation so much. Like, there's things in Clone Wars where, like, they kill someone or something like that and kind of hold the shot, even if they didn't show you everything that was going on. They kind of held the camera and lingered on it a little bit, so you soaked it in. And this one feels a lot of more phonetic, a little bit quicker. And I think I got to settle into it. Maybe they'll iron it out, but it was boom, boom, boom. And I'm with you. My problem is, it comes back to what you were saying. I want more because I'm so intrigued. Like, even the cop, I heard people say in the cop storyline, I found it interesting. Some people said that's the weak part for them. I find him actually really fascinating. Like, every character, they build up enough intrigue about them to where you're curious. Even with the cop, like, why is the wife gone? Why is he talking to the hooker? Obviously, they got something going on.
The wife's gone because he's banging
I'm starting to put that together, because then she goes, well, take me out.
Like, I don't know. Right. I'm free for dinner. And I was like, oh, shit, son.
So the world is so captivating that I think this show has the opposite problem of most shows, where we say the runtime, you can trim this off, or like do more of this scene.
Oh, yeah, there ain't nothing you can trim in this show.
Yeah, dude, this show moves super quickly. But here's the good news. It's already been renewed for a season 2. like right out the gate. I guess the numbers were really good for those first 2 episodes. So, hey, good on them. And they said they have a 3-season plan that fits within the timeline, which thank you. Unlike Marvel and other shows, can we also talk about this? No matter how much you hate the shows that have come out, like timeline wise, they all sync with the timeline very well. I even like looked it up and saw everything in between and stuff like that. And even the shitty shows like Acolyte, like they still fit very neatly into the Star Wars
I mean,
timeline.
what,
So
this show takes place between Solo and Rebels?
no, this takes place after Solo because he was
after Solo and before Rebels.
Yeah, it's before Rebels. It's probably even I would kind of place him like maybe doing shit during Bad Batch. Like maybe this is following that because when you look,
It's got to be close to that timeline.
they're like almost like merged. But did you hear the drop of that? What's her face from Fett? I'm glad they're redeeming that character.
Who?
The bounty hunter that's been hunting him. That's Fett's right hand chick. I forget her name.
Bounty hunter that's been hunting him. What fucking? Why am I drawing a whole blank? There was a bounty hunter in this episode.
Oh no, I'm messing up. Man, I'm messing up Bad Batch and Maul because I watched them side by side. And I did that on purpose. So I wanted.
I messed up on purpose.
Yes, even in what is perceived as a screw up, there's a reason. I wanted to compare and do animation quality. So I went from Clone Wars to Bad Batch, and me and Bitchy were talking about this the other day, and she goes, because she watched and of course I forced her to watch the last episodes of Clone Wars. Didn't really force, she doesn't do anything she didn't want to do. She was just like, I'm suffering watching this. But she watched the end and she goes, wow, the animation changed. And dude, the animation fucking quality, man, from this show, from Clone Wars to Bad Batch to this is like, and this and Bad Batch are only a couple of years apart. So the fact that Disney Prime, like Pixar and Disney Animations, their animation looks shitty. And then you look at this and you go, what the fuck are they doing over at Lucas? Like, if there's one thing they got on top of every single show is just getting progressively better. I watched the Tales of the Bounty Hunters or whatever, and even which was more recent.
Did I watch that one? Why can I not remember this?
Oh yeah, I watched the one. You know who my boy is? Besides Bobo, Bobo's my number 1, but number 2 is Cad Bane. Yeah, he's got a whole separate thing. So like, seeing the animation quality is like really crazy, and I gotta say, the other big thing, and like I said, this is only 2 episodes, so we don't know if this is going to change, but I do like that they are not trying to make Maul this sympathetic character as we see Marvel and these other shows do. They're not trying to say, oh, well, you remember him as this basically ruthless piece of shit who's power hungry and gives a shit about nobody, but he's really got a heart of gold. Like, he comes out just murdering people, and I love it. I love that they're not watering him down. Like, he is the villain of this show. It's like a penguin. Hopefully he's not banging his mom, and I know he didn't kill his brother, but you get the gist. Like, he's not the hero here. We are following a villain on a quest for revenge, and I love it. I love that. Like, even him talking to the Jedi doesn't feel like he cares. It feels like a manipulation. It feels.
And the Jedi girl?
Yeah. And he basically says it without saying it.
It's a master manipulation, and it's one giant test. Everything with Maul is a test.
And it's so great because Maul is one of those intriguing characters that even when you think you know what he's thinking, you don't. And it's so true when I go back and watch Clone Wars. He's so erratic towards that ending when he realizes that Sidious has won, and everything he says to Ahsoka, he comes off as you can't predict what he's going to do, because I don't even fucking know he knows what he's going to do. He just kind of acts, and that is the definition of a dark side.
Maul definitely rolls with the punches because there's only so many things you can control. And when stuff out of your control happens, it's like, okay, time to pivot.
It's always like he doesn't even come up. The thing that I love about, so let's get to episode 1 because the highlight is the prison break, but the basic gist is it's the end of the Clone Wars. Maul is not out to overthrow the Empire. There's no big galactic stakes. He doesn't give a fuck about the world. If you guys don't know the timeline, in the previous Star Wars shows, and if you watch that horrible Solo for Anything, he was running a syndicate called the Shadow Collective, which was mentioned in the movie. That's another thing that pissed me off because they totally could have did a thing with Han Solo running into the collective and we could have seen what Maul assembled, but we just got to use our fucking imagination. Or the EU.
Pass. I've been dealing with EU cultists on Twitter for a couple days, and I was like, I can't.
With their shadows of the Empire.
I can't continue to respond to their ridiculous fucking bullshit, so I just let it slide.
Well, actually, Darth Maul didn't run it in the book 3 of Shadows of the Empire. Clearly, it was Thrawn and the other guys, and Maul was just a puppet. I don't give a fuck. I didn't read the book. Well, I did read the book, but I still am not counting it because George didn't, and clearly Filoni didn't either. So fuck you guys.
Dude, I called the books fan fiction, and someone's like, "That's not the definition of fan fiction." And I was like, "Holy fuck! Okay, sure."
Here's the thing: I am a writer. I am an author. Say I was to make a book with permission, of course, on what's my favorite, Resident Evil, and I made a whole book about how Leon Kennedy took a day off and what happened. Is that canon to Resident Evil lore? Not unless they include it in the thing. And they say, yes, this book is what happened on a day off when Leon Kennedy went to get a hot dog. And he fought zombies and discovered the power of love or whatever. But if I wrote this book with their blessing, but they're saying, you can read this if you want extra little fun time, but it's not part of the universe, then my story is a fan fiction. I am an author. I have written a book. People read it. They liked it. It does not make it canon. And any author, no matter how good they are, if they wrote a book in the Star Wars universe and George and Nolan blessed it, it is not canon. And then by definition, it is fan fiction. A fan of Star Wars wrote a book that was fiction.
You want to hear the funniest thing that happened in all of my interactions? The funniest thing was, like, you respond to one person and then someone else sees your comment and now you're in a conversation with them, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I know how canon used to work in Star Wars. The movies and the Clone Wars were at the top. And anything else that wasn't those and didn't make sense is in another timeline, or as George Lucas says, another universe. You got his Star Wars universe and then the EU universe, because that's not his freaking story. So then I go in there and I'm going back and forth with these people. And I was like, well, this is how it works. So like, well, Disney changed it, so now they got rid of all of the EU and they only kept the movies and the Clone Wars, and now everything is canon. The comics, the video games, the TV shows, and the movies, they're all in the same timeline. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't talking about that. And then somebody called me a Disney bootlicker. And I was like, you quite obviously have not heard me talk about Disney stuff on the internet anywhere, because I am very opposite of a Disney bootlicker / shill. Like, my God, I almost fell off the fucking sofa when I read that. Somebody calling me a Disney shill. Like, no,
I never
like
seen the day with the, like, if they only heard the hours of arguments we've had about canon, if anything, I could be accused.
Oh yeah, they definitely accuse you.
I could be accused of. I have sat there and had arguments. Even I am a DC fan, and I've defended Marvel choices numerous times in numerous movies. But as a fan of these properties, Are they right about the comics and the games? Yeah, if you look at the timeline, they are included now. But
now like when I started the conversation, we were talking about the EU and George Lucas, and then somebody transitioned it into, well, Disney changed all the canon. I was like, yeah, I know that they changed everything. We weren't talking about that, but I'll gladly talk about it now, you fucking morons.
yeah, and Disney has selectively chosen stuff. So if you want to be like that guy who's going to be really nitpicky about what's canon and what's not, good fucking luck, because you will, like, your head will explode trying to figure out, like, in each property, like, say, the Acolyte. Oh, you EU fans are so well, there's a couple of people from your EU canon that is in the Acolyte. Are you happy? You happy?
No,
you got your
every single time they pluck somebody, as in Disney plucks somebody out of the EU and brings them in, everyone who's a fan of the EU, they're like, hey, you're finally getting this character that you love. He's like, that's not my Thrawn. It's like, what the fuck? What is your Thrawn? Because I don't know anything about Thrawn. I didn't know anything about Thrawn until we got to Rebels. And then they introduced him. And I was like, this guy is badass. They're like,
I would argue
that's not if good Thrawn. That's the shitty Thrawn. And I was like, okay. So to break it down into good and bad, EU, bad. Disney, bad. George Lucas, Dave Filoni, good.
And that brings us to the writing of this show. And I want to say,
okay, you say you don't like the pacing. I like the pace that it's moving at, which is why I wish that I got more of the show.
No. I'm saying, and it ties into your timing. I could feel how they're kind of rushing through, where take Bad Batch or Clone Wars, which I would more take Clone Wars, right? Because they're more of the same length. I was watching Bad Batch and I was actually stunned. Those episodes are actually a little bit longer than the typical Clone War episode, which I found out.
I mean, the Clone Wars episodes were made to fit in the half-an-hour TV slot, so they're like 22, maybe 23 minutes.
Whereas Bad Batch feels a little bit more for streaming, so it's a little bit longer. It's hitting that 38.
And they're not consistent. It's not like every episode is 30 minutes, 30 minutes.
Some are like 28, some are 20. I think there was one I just got to. It was a little side quest to get a Rancor. It was only like 25 minutes. So that one's a little weird, which is why I'm going to use Clone Wars in relation to this. Clone Wars never felt rushed to me like this does. You get what I'm saying? I still feel like the shots, and I'm thinking it's more of a camera thing and more what they're choosing to linger, choosing to stretch, as opposed to them rushing the story, because I get everything that happened in the episode. It's very well communicated. Sam Witwer. Yeah, Witwer. I looked up his name.
Witwer.
You're right, Witwer. Sam Witwer. Excellent as always. I've liked him since like watching him in live action doing stuff. Great actor, and I would argue better voice actor. Great in the role, conveys so much, shows the restraint, shows the anger, very scary, especially in those fucking scenes where the lights go out and it turns into a fucking horror movie. All that stuff is good. I just feel like, and someone brought this up, and I think that's my issue, motion blur. I fucking hate it. And if you guys don't know what motion blur is, it's when they blur out a vision in super fast mode to make things seem faster than they are. I don't like it being used in animation because it speeds things along, but it's very jarring. So certain movements are a little janky. But I'm getting super technical because honestly, I just have to nitpick. I mean, this is one of those shows where I sat back and I had to watch it again, like you, and do some notes, because I was like, especially the first time, I was finding it tough to be critical. because the little kid in me that likes to see flashy shit and badass stuff happening just took over. I was like, yay! And Bitchy comes out and she goes, and she walked away. Like, it's one of those shows that this is, I don't know about you. And, you know, I get so scared being overhyped when it comes to Star Wars. But, you know, I got to remember this is Dave and I could trust the process. But it brought me back to those days of watching Star Wars and feeling that thing where you sit down and just, you're actually pissed because even if it's a 3-hour movie, it just seems like it goes by like this because it's entertaining. Like, I never sat down to Rogue One or any of the episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 or any of those and said, God, man, this shit is too long. You sit down to watch the OG trilogy and you're like, man, I'm done. Is it? Is it
I don't know. There are moments like the beginning of the first movie. Like once you get past the intro and we're, you know, dicking around with Luke on Tatooine, that seems like it takes forever. Just like we'll call it the second half of Act 1.
Yeah.
It seems like it takes forever because they're essentially just trying to get to fucking town. And yeah, you get like the cool moments like these are not the droids you are looking for, and you're like, what the fuck did he just do?
It's
like it's got cool moments, but it's slow. And I would say every single fucking Star Wars project you've ever watched in your life, I mean, you could include the holiday special, Maul Shadow Lord moves faster.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think my issue is definitely that I'm with you with the time wise is that I feel like it's moving too fast and I want more, which when you really think about it, is it a problem? Well, that's up to you. At the very least, it's entertaining. It's fun to watch. They're building a mystery. And more importantly, this isn't just flashy lightsaber, bam, 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 laser blast. It's also, I'm a little bit pissed off of it going so fast because I actually am really liking every character. I can't think of a character that was introduced
that
I don't like.
What I was thinking. All of the like the girl,
even the little guy,
the girl is going to become his apprentice, I presume. Like he's going to twist her to the dark side the way he failed to twist Ahsoka to the dark side, and she's going to be like the Darth Talon replacement, right?
Yep.
But then you got the other Jedi Master, which we don't really know anything about him. Like, where was he during Order 66? How did he survive? Hopefully, we get some type of inkling to that. Like, I don't need a whole scene. I don't need an actual flashback. I need like 2 lines of dialogue to be like, well, I was here and they tried to kill me and I killed them fucking bastards. So, like, we can keep it fast. But I'm hoping that all of these other characters, because we know what happens with Maul. We saw Rebels. We know how his story ends. Like, we just don't know what happened in the middle, which is this. I'm hoping that they build up the other characters enough and they've already had a good start at it that we can do a spin-off of this show with other characters.
Because and this is the mark, and this is what I mean. And the thing that pisses me off when people put animation down or don't want to include, because remember for years there was always a back and forth about Clone Wars where people just refused to watch it because, well, it's animated and it's not important to the movie. But those animated episodes were so critical because then it changes it literally changes how you watch episode 3. If you watched episode 3 like so many people, not myself, because I watched Clone Wars and the Micro Clone Wars series, you were so confused going into that where it just launched you into a space battle and Grievous had already captured the Chancellor. And so many, you remember those reviews where people are like, yeah, it was great, but it had plot holes. And it's like, no, it didn't. They explained everything to you.
I find it funny that people say it has a plot hole because something wasn't explained to you. Like, that's their version of a plot hole. I don't know how we got here. I don't know how this happened. That's not what a plot hole is, people. It's not at all. Just because you don't know what's going on doesn't make it a plot hole.
A plot hole is just the basic simple. A plot hole is when you get a whole story, you get to the ending, and it does not make sense based on the information given to you in the movie, show, whatever itself. So, like, for instance, the Acolyte, right? There was a big plot hole there. Why couldn't he save both the twins? Why did he try to use the Force to fucking hold up the bridge where he could have just grabbed both of them and saved them both? Like, that's a plot hole because the mechanics of the world dictate, based on their rules set up and established that we know of, that were explained to us previously. So you have a baseline of how the world and the mechanics work. We know he should be able to save both girls. But the choice he made makes no sense with the character he's established to be. Soul is established to be this old, really wise, like clever, smart Jedi who's respected. So in that train of thought, you see the character and you think, oh, he's going to force grab both girls and let the fucking bridge fall because there's nothing else that would harm anyone. But instead, he tries to hold the bridge up, which makes no fucking sense. That is a plot hole. Not if you say are starting a thing and you're starting a movie and there's a space battle already going on. That is called building up an intrigue. We haven't been introduced yet to anything. And they
you could have said the same thing for the beginning of the show too. It was like, I don't know what's going on other than the fact that somebody's getting robbed. No inkling to what's. I mean, I know what the show is, so I presume that it was Maul doing the robbing, but it could have been like what the storyline is, but it could have been real. Like, it could have been one of the crime syndicates attacking one of those crime syndicates, and we don't know what's going on because that's, I mean, the manipulation that he has started in the show, super impressive.
And the thing that I like about it too is that Maul has always been established, and this is where we talk about plot holes. Now, if we got to his whole grand scheme and it was fucking stupid, that would be a plot hole because we already have established in other things, we know the character, so we know he is clever. We also know that even though he's clever, he tends to lose because he's irrational and he loses patience.
Well, he's very much revenge oriented.
Yes, but it was cool to see that they showed the villain as being clever and patient to a point. Like, when he got him in that prison, he could have fucking killed him, but he stopped, which shows how, and it goes back to how he planned this whole thing out to get them to start fighting each other. And it doesn't break the character because he gets to the jail, and instead of impulsively killing him and possibly not having this bigger lead to the Pikes, which is another person on his list, he holds himself back and brings the guy with him and says, fine, you're going to help me do this or you're going to fucking die. Which I really don't want that guy to die. I kind of like him. Like,
he's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling he's not going to make it to the end. But and that's,
I mean, the only way I see him surviving is if he's able to escape in a sequence where Maul is like, busy with I want to get revenge on all three of these people, but I'm only going to be able to get 2 out of 3. So which one's getting away?
Or he just happens to sneak out while Maul's distracted with something.
That's what I thought was going to happen in episode 2. I was like, oh, he's going to set up this meet and then he's just going to fucking disappear.
Okay, so let's go to episode 1 first, and then we'll jump to 2. 1 was the setup. We saw
what a great setup.
Yeah, we saw the big dude who was going to talk.
I thought, you're sitting there watching it start, and you're like, oh, He's robbing one of the people that used to be in the Shadow Collective, whichever crime syndicate it is, because they don't tell you the name at the beginning. They don't tell you until you get to the, let's say, investigation stage, where the cops and the droids show up and all that shit. Oh, you're gross, little baby. You're so gross. Anyway, the fact that it was all a manipulation, like, yeah, he wanted the credits or the gold bars or whatever the fuck they were, but what he really wanted to do was get these people to fight each other, and they do.
Yeah, so we have the at first Demos or Demis. Yeah, Demis, and
I don't remember which syndicate he was part of, or what the name was.
I don't either. And Devon.
What?
No,
Devon Dudley? Who the fuck is
no, hold on.
You had Demas was the big guy with the 3 eyes, and then the little guy who was in the mechanical suit is Vario.
Vario and Demis? Demis.
Yeah, Demas.
Demis and Vario. Okay, so Demis is the one who gets killed. Vario is the one who lives. He tries.
Dude, that was a clever scene.
Yeah, and it's cool because he sends him that explosive thing, which causes the two to start to fight. And then he realizes who's actually behind it, Varia, and very cleverly throws himself at the police, which was fucking hilarious. They realize they can't take all the cops. They back off.
Yep.
And Maul goes and decides to attack the police station. And I just want to stop at this. Favorite scene. So you know, I don't know what your favorite scene. And in particular,
favorite scene in episode 1. Oof.
Yeah, my favorite scene in right now. Well, I'll let you think about it because I know mine right off the bat. Standing in the dark hallway as the lights flash on and off, and I love it because it was a horror movie / like it's this action show, but then it turned horror.
I'm quite confident that I agree with you on this one because when I was sitting here watching it, like you see all these guys essentially walk into a hallway, and then you see him enter the other end, and I was like, "Oh fuck, we're getting the hallway scene, episode 1. Fuck yes."
But the great thing that I love, because they could go the Lord Vader route.
I'll tell you, I do have a minor gripe in it though. Like he kills almost everyone, but then he just punches the one guy in the face. Now, in episode 2, there's another scenario where he's killing a whole bunch of people, and he doesn't kill all of them. A couple of them he just knocks out with a kick or a punch. So I was like, okay, it's more about efficiency. Like, you're just trying to get through it. So if you can't quite get the kill, as long as you get the knockout, because all you're doing is breaking into a place and then, I guess, breaking out of the place, that's good enough.
Which, once again, I like it because it does kind of show, at least for me, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe the creator has something else in mind, but I view it more as his restraint. He has that viciousness, but also, too, he's not like Vader, who will just fucking murder everyone just because he can, and who the fuck's going to stop him. It's more of, he can kill you, but he's going to do what he feels is more efficient at the time. Like you said, if a punch or a kick will work, then he'll go for that. He doesn't necessarily have to kill everybody in the room. And the cop, just my thought, they eyed each other before, and I think he kind of has a little bit of a respect thing for him. Like, this motherfucker actually, like, stole, because he could have killed the cop very easily.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like he purposely didn't kill him out of everybody. If you notice that scene, he just knocked him out as if kind of like he respects him so ballsy.
If everything in this show is a manipulation, there's a reason for it.
I'm figuring because, and I don't know if he knows, but the cop, and this is my only nitpick, unless this gets kind of addressed, I think he knows the cop is the one who's not calling the Empire in, or has that kind of like, I don't know. but that cop is the only one who is saying no. We're not going to call the Empire in because once they come in, they're going to fucking take control of shit, and we're going to be in a worse situation than if we handle this ourselves. I don't know if he's got a spy in there who's getting all this information or if he just gets that gist, but they're kind of setting up these two as the main back and forth. And I think on some level, he has some kind of respect for him. The fact that
I'm pretty sure
cannot take him, and he knows that.
I presume he's got enough respect for him because he was the guy that was able to lord over all of the different major crime syndicates in the galaxy. It's not like he was just on one planet running it, like Mandalore.
No, I think that he has respect for the cop for being so gutsy.
Oh, you think Maul has respect?
I think he has. Remember, Maul, their race is a warrior race. They respect power and strength, and and I think there's some kind of like he senses something in him where he could kill him, but he's not going for it. It's like that warrior thing, because that cop knew he was fucking outmatched, especially when all those guys dropped. He knew, like, he has a fucking blaster, and he calls it a laser sword, so he knows what he has, and he knows he ain't gonna he hasn't got a prayer to fucking take him, but he still shoots at him several times, and then even tries to throw a punch at him. And I think Maul's like, I'll give it to you. You tried.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely was standing in his way right up until he got knocked the fuck out.
I mean, he had a little bit of spunk, a little gumption, and plus two, we don't really know Maul's code, like who he chooses to kill, what he considers.
I don't know if he has a code in that sense. I think anything that gets him the vengeance that he is looking for is okay with him.
But this is so this is what I love about this, and we're only on the first episode. We're already 43 minutes in. There's so much off of the episodes to talk about just because of like I said, and I said this too. Remember when we were talking about Daredevil and my issues with episode 1? And this is what Daredevil didn't have for me, is that intrigue, that, and I get it, it's a season 2 thing, but I feel like good writing, the first episode is so important when you're watching a show. Like, we have Breaking Bad, and I can tell you right now, Breaking Bad's first episode is intriguing, but it's not what you get later. You know what I mean? It really doesn't start, at least for me, it didn't start hooking me till episode 2 when Jesse ran out of a fucking hot chick's house with no pants on off of a roof, and Walter's like, "Who's that?" Like, that was when I was like, okay, this is a little bonkers. But that's my issue, is like the first episode is so important. It is so important to build in an audience, as we used to call it back in the days, kids, a hook. You need a hook. You need, yes, the claw. You're scared of the claw.
That's why people like Peter Pan so much, because it's got a great hook.
All right, I'll give that to you. That was a good hook. It's one of those things where we talk about this all the time. Like, what's the difference? What separates great shows like even Daredevil Born Again? Like we said, I don't regret watching it. There were problems I had, but I don't feel like I wasted my time. And that's because with shows like these, you need to be able to keep your audience engaged. That's what makes a good show versus a great show. A good show can make me interested. I still care, but I walk away and go, it's fine. It was okay. Versus, holy fucking shit, did you see that? Like, there's such a big difference, and I think this is a fantastic first episode. And I'm going to lead right into my ratings because I don't want to go too high, you know. I want to leave a little bit of cushion. I'm going to say a 9.
Wow, you left so much cushion there, guy.
I left the whole point.
So much cushion to work with. Like, you can go all the way up to a 9.5 and a 10. Wow.
I mean, really, my point off is what you said, and it's nitpicks. It's not like I'm going, I can't say, well, I didn't like a character because I liked every fucking character. I can't say, well, the story is dumb because I want to know more. Obviously, we're more pissed we didn't get a bigger light, so that is an issue. So really, my only critique is that it went too fast for me. Like I don't even say pacing in the traditional sense I normally say. It's more of, man, I wish they slowed down and showed me more is my issue. I wanted it to actually be slightly slower, which is weird for me. Because I always bitch on how slow things are. I'm like, come on.
On the other side for just about everything that we ever watch.
Which is so weird for me because I'm like, whoa, can we maybe slow it down just a bit? I want to see that arm fall off a little bit, a little artistic flair. But that's really my only nitpick. I mean, technically, I don't have any issues. We didn't see a ship fucking half sink, and then they fuck up the shot when they blow it up, which, by the way, everybody gave that episode crazy, high marks. And I'm just like, nobody's talking about the ship. I want to do a separate video and just so clips, because I think if I steal it just right, you can see where they fucked up and they use a different image. Now I want to catch that because I fucking caught it on my thing. And Disney, don't you go fucking correcting it, because I caught you fuckers. You made a technical error. This show,
I mean, if they're not going to go back and correct the it's not a lightsaber, but whatever those freaking dagger things are that the guy uses in The Last Jedi in the throne room scene. If they're not going to go back and be like, oh, you remember where this thing disappears and then just reappears? Have it not disappear. If they're not going to fix that, they ain't fixing this shit.
But I want to say, from a technical side, I didn't notice anything out of place. Nothing didn't work for me. There was nothing that I mean, normally you have littler nitpicks, like mechanically something wrong.
I didn't. Okay, watching even in both episodes, I didn't see any physical issues like stuff being moved, a weird camera angle showing something that's not supposed to be there. All that kind of shit. Guy, what are you bitching about?
So he agrees. He didn't find anything mechanically wrong either.
I gave it an 8.5.
Okay, so curious question, because I'm only 0.5 higher than you. What takes you a 0.5 lower than me? Are you giving more of a cushion?
I don't necessarily have it set up to give myself a cushion to be like, this is better, because as we've said before, you can give something a 9 and you can give something else a 9, and one 9 is bigger than the other. Just because they're both a 9 doesn't mean they're exactly equal.
No, because we might find different.
I would say that I agree with you that most of my downgrade is just the fact that it's so short, which doesn't, it's not a critique of the story. It's not a critique of the animation. It's not a critique of the action sequences.
Or the acting, voice acting.
Or the voice acting. Or
great.
I guess you count it as animation, right? Because if you're watching a live action show, when people are doing their facial expressions or, they're responding to somebody, you would consider that acting. But yep. I guess you wouldn't consider it acting in an animated show because they're animating their face. And I don't think that they made this episode the way that they made the last season of the Clone Wars, where the lightsaber fights were motion captured and then they put them into the show. As far as I know, this whole thing is just animated.
Which is that alone, I just want to say too, while we're, as the kids say, glazing this show, the fucking lightsaber battles, okay, in this, or even the scenes with them shooting the blasters. This is where I say I took a point off because of wanting to see more. They were slower on showing the blaster shots. I wanted to see a little bit slower with the lightsaber stuff. Like, you don't got to show an arm being chopped off because that's just a staple
But
in
they
Star
did.
Wars. But
They
like,
did.
they did, but they didn't quite shoot it the same. Okay, and I'm comparing
No,
this.
they didn't. They don't. They don't like focus on the dismemberment the same way that, like, when you see Anakin's arm get cut off, you focus on it. Mace Windu's arm gets cut off, you focus on it. Dooku's arm cut off, you focus on it. Luke's arm is cut off, you focus on it. I mean, jump to the end. Darth Vader's hand gets cut off, you focus on it. They didn't like, he works his way down the hallway and he slices these fucking guys' arms and legs off, and you can see where it's singed, but then boom, we're on to the next thing.
And they drop. Okay, so here's my thing. And maybe, like I said, I'm being super nitpicky because the show is so good, and I feel like I gotta throw a critique somewhere. I'm relating this to Clone Wars season 7. Maul's break out there, right? So there's a scene where he pulls a clone back through that door as it's closing, and then they slowly show the arm fall off. I was hoping for something like that when he was going through the hallway. So you know what I mean? Like, I got the damage. They didn't pull away. Thank God they're making lightsabers lethal again. Like, I got he killed everyone. I got it. They showed the parts, but I wish there was something like, oh, he slices someone and they do a quick little slow-mo and you see the arm fall as you see this red lightsaber going through the hall. Something like that, where I'm getting, and maybe I'm getting spoiled because everything is so artistic and everybody's doing such a great job. I think it's just a missed opportunity to really show off how well they shoot these scenes. And I don't give a shit if you're talking about animation or whatever else. Scenes are shot, right? And you're still dealing with images that you got to frame. There's still camera work and things like that. And I guess it's really, I wish they framed certain things a little longer. And I think that would give the episode a tiny bit of extra length. Like, you go from just a minute of him working his way through the hall.
I know. I'm told that a tiny little extra bit of length is exactly what the ladies are looking for.
Exactly. We want to keep the ladies happy.
That's right.
You know, you add as much length as you need to.
Until she's satisfied.
But no, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, when I...
Yes, I get it.
Like, this... I feel like the speed could have been helped if they... Like, this is the first time where I'm actually like, yeah, take some artistic license and actually slow some things down. Like, show... Like, maybe... Well, it was fucking droids, but, like, maybe you show them, like, in the old Clone Wars days when they used to go, oh, no! Fall off the fucking cliff. It was fun because you got that...
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I feel like my favorite character in the show is the tiny little evil droid.
Yeah.
He's freaking hilarious.
Like, that's what... It's stuff like that, and we'll get to that, well, in episode 2, yeah. The like, that stuff, and I know what people are going to say because they're already saying it. Oh, here Disney goes again, marketing. Yes, okay? Disney is a company. They're going to fucking get used to it. They're going to create characters, whether they're evil or they're not. They're always going to have a cute robot. It's fucking staple, people. How many years have we been dealing with this? And you can't sit there and tell me you weren't fucking cracking up when you saw it. You fell into the trap, okay? I got my little fucking Grogu talking and plushie. I don't fucking care. I fell for Disney's manipulation.
I hate the sequel trilogy so much that I have a BB-8. And I have a Lego BB-8 that I never assembled yet.
It marketing.
And I have a BB-8 piggy bank. Like, I hate the sequel trilogy, but that fucking droid is amazing.
And that's the thing. Marketing is in it, but here's the thing that people confuse with an obvious marketing stunt versus does it fit in the story? And yes, now I do agree with one thing, one criticism that was said. Where the fuck did the droid come from? I would like an explanation for that.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
And that's fair. I've never seen it. We've never seen him use this droid.
Nope.
So he's got it from somewhere and something happened. So as long as they explain and maybe they're building up that drama. One thing people forget is Filoni has created the most goddamn sad scenes. And if this motherfucker makes me cry because the Evo droid dies, mad genius. Because you guys forget the saddest scene, and I was crying the other day, was that last episode of Clone Wars. When Darth Vader goes and he sees the helmets all in the snow because Ahsoka put the helmets of all of the fucking people who died. And then I guess it was a time jump and you see Vader go back through and walk and look, and he just stands and he kneels and then he looks at the sky. Dude, that fucking crushes me every time. But you don't get that unless you built and you know the history that she knew all of their names. She knew who the clones were. That was what made when they turned. And especially now watching Bad Batch, that's what makes it so heartbreaking, is watching them being manipulated when in the lead up through the Clone Wars, we got to know all of their names. Fives and Commander Cody, Commander Rex. Like, we got to know clones that essentially look the same, but they all have distinct personalities. They're all different. And that is what makes it so tough. And you get rewarded when you watch the final season and you're like, holy fucking shit. Like, it wasn't Fives, but it was the other, it was Cody. Yeah, Cody died. And you realize, like, that was one of the main dudes that you followed, and he turned on his own squad mate. He turned on his Captain Rex to try to take him in. Like, that is what makes those scenes sad. And Filoni is the fucking master of tugging at your fucking heartstrings. And he's got that balance in his writing where he makes you fucking care, and then he just fucking murders the shit out of it. And that's the other thing that I like, especially in this too, is I want to feel like characters are in danger. Now, the tricky part with Maul is we know Maul can't die, no matter where they place him in the story. He is safe. He's going to end at Rebels. So what you have to do is you have to build other characters that could be in the timeline. Maybe they appear somewhere else, but maybe they just die here. That's where the suspense is going to come from. Not, is Maul going to do what he sets out to do? We already fucking know the answer to that.
Yeah, except we do, but we don't. Like, I don't know if he's going to get revenge on all of the people he's trying to get revenge on, because I know he failed to get revenge on Sidious. He failed to get revenge on Kenobi. Everybody else in between is still fair game because we don't know how it plays out. And I do like how they set up the stakes for the show. Like, I want to kill all the people that have wronged me. And I was like, well, this is going to be interesting shit.
And I think episode 1 does a great job of telling us the general list, because I'm going to assume if they got 3 seasons or 4 seasons planned, there's more people we haven't heard of yet. But
almost certainly.
But I do like how they establish at least a baseline for us to follow. He's using this guy to get to the Pikes. He's probably using the Pikes to get to somebody else. And if you were a fan and you know who the Syndicate are, I do know most of the people who were in the Syndicate, because I've seen not the EU books, but Solo and other stuff. I got general gist of who he may be going after. And at the end of Clone Wars, which I'm glad I watched that before watching or after watching this, there were a couple of other names that were dropped in there where I was like, oh, he could go after this guy. And then there's the guy on the Red Watch, or the
Death Watch.
Yeah. That there was that guy who escaped, so he could go after him. We got a lot of different possibilities of people he either fucked over and then they fucked him over, or people and remember, during the time the Empire was taken over, he was getting ready to lead his strike, and he said, you guys pulled your ships, which means there's some stuff in between there too. So there's a whole bunch of stuff they could set up. And that's what a first episode does. 9 for me. What, 8 for you or 8.5?
I said 8.5.
8.5. Great episode. Let's go to episode 2, which is titled Sinister Schemes. And this is where Maul has his captive, the Jedi chick, and the other dude, and he is setting up a trap for the Pike's transport. There's spice and
spice.
Yep, spice is life, and they're and death sticks.
Want to buy some death sticks?
Don't buy death sticks, kids.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Now, this one, I'm actually I'm going to go a little bit lower on this one, actually.
Me too.
I'm at an 8.
I'm at an 8.
Holy shit. We did not plan this, folks. We did not even fucking
We never planned anything.
We barely planned the stream.
Right, exactly. The stream was, we were like, yeah, let's do a stream, and that was it. Made a thumbnail, he wrote some stuff down, and then boom, here we are. The magic of the internet.
But yeah, so here's my thing. Not a bad episode. This is
yeah, I would hope that it's not a bad episode if you gave it an 8.
This is what we when we're talking about where I normally have a problem. I do enjoy the conversations in this. My issue is the fact I'm going in reverse. It was too quick and I wanted more. Was super pissed when it ended with her escaping. And I was
like you say that
I thought he was going to be in the shadows.
Escaping. Like
yeah,
she's out of the cell. I mean, if you were in prison and you got out of your cell, you didn't fucking escape yet, guy.
No, the biggest issue that I had is that it was too short and I wanted a little bit more. I mean, if I'm being really nitpicky, coming off of a awesome prison escape scene, it kind of did like hard pump the brakes a bit so that we could get the stuff in between. I'm struggling. Like it didn't have the same hook as the first episode.
No, because I would say that at this point now they've moved into the execution of the plan. I mean, yeah, you could say that's what the first one was, but there was still a lot of setup. Like he had to collect Avario. I don't know how, like, abduct him from prison. I don't know how you want to say it, because he kind of broke him out, but he's also a prisoner. So did he really break him out? Kind of, but not really. But you said you wanted more.
Yeah, my problem is the problem in the first episode.
I can tell you how you can get more.
How can I get more of this wonderful episode?
Well, I didn't say of this episode, but you're talking about getting more. If you want to get more, you could put in code ZONE15 at moviepalette.com and get 15% more canvas than you would have otherwise. That's not actually how it works. You just get 15% off whatever the price is, including the sale price. So you should go to moviepalette.com right now and invest in your quality canvas so that you can always remember how your favorite movies look. They are beautiful and guaranteed to arrive before Christmas.
And also, too, don't forget, if you don't want a movie, say you want a show, I can't guarantee you they'll have Shadow Lord yet.
I don't think they would have it yet.
But you like Star Wars, you want to get yourself maybe a Bad Batch or Clone Wars.
I'd have to look into those ones because I know, like, a lot of the TV show palettes that I saw on there were things that were 10 episodes or less. So I don't think they have any on there. Like, I don't think there's a Stargate one because they'd have to fit like 20 plus little things on the piece of canvas. Like, you need a giant piece of canvas to be able to see them.
But yeah, definitely go check it out. Thank you, moviepalette.com, for being our sponsors year 2, and still going strong because of our excellent promos such as this.
We have the best movie palette promos on the entire internet.
Oh yeah. Who else does
I don't
movie talent?
I don't know. I'm sure they gotta sponsor somebody else. It's not like they're like, hey, we found one channel worthy.
I mean, I'd like to think, and maybe that's just my Darth Maul hubris coming out, but I am the only channel. And if not, we're going to take out the other ones.
Up our market share.
We'll figure it out. It's the modern age. we'll we'll get it all out. But okay, so this one was good. We found out about some of the highlights. We found out that the beggar, surprise, surprise. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if it was just me and my excitement. I didn't think that the old guy was a Jedi, and kind of got surprised by that.
I mean, if going through episode 1, I was
he
skeptical. Like he
I
didn't.
thought he was taking care of a Jedi.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's this. It would be the same setup as Mando and Grogu. Mando is not a Jedi, but he's taking care of a Jedi.
that's kind of what I thought. Like, he found her and he was just counseling her on being a better person. Like that thing where he says we don't steal or whatever. I thought it because he let her do it. I thought it was more of a he's just this like old kindly guy taking care of her, and he's like, oh well,
me
you
wonder because they don't tell you exactly what their relationship is. Have they been master and Padawan since before Order 66? Because she's definitely old enough that she was around for Order 66.
And she definitely knows a lot more of the Jedi code than she was letting on to, even when Maul imprisoned her. And I love the way they sort
That
of.
was pretty good. She's like, I know who the fuck you are, son of a bitch. You ain't gonna corrupt me. We'll see about that.
And I love too where you get that hint, but I still wasn't sure if she was a Jedi or not because his reputation does precede him. So when she was broken out of the prison and she says Maul, even though they were doing that sense thing, I thought, oh, maybe she's just like a rebel or something, and he's just got a good sense about her or something. Because Maul's sense and his prophecies aren't always linked towards just Jedi specifically. There's certain key people and things he knows. So I was like, oh, maybe she's like a Sabine, you know, she's this fighter or something like that.
Sabine's a Jedi now.
I don't know why they got me. They got me. It didn't, I wasn't clicking with she was the fucking Jedi yet. And then I thought it was so brilliant how they kind of do the back and forth with her not admitting she's a Jedi, but then it becomes pretty obviously she does know the Jedi code and everything, and she is kind of sparring with him with words. I love shit like that. You know me. If you guys don't know the channel, I'm a big Quentin Tarantino whore. And one thing I love about Quentin Tarantino movies, above the action, the gore, and everything else.
I liked her snarkiness when he's like, "Who are you?" And she goes, "A prisoner."
Like that's what I mean. Like that's what I mean with like I like Quentin Tarantino-esque dialogue, I call it, where it's so much being said with words without saying it. And this is another thing I want to give credit to the show that I don't think you and me mentioned. I like how the show is not so far attempting to hold your hand with these things. They'll just come out and say things like, and I don't know when this happened, but I started noticing this with Netflix. It was the last season of Stranger Things. Okay. There was literally an episode where I remember sitting there and they kept on repeating the plan over and over again. Like they were trying.
Oh, I mean, I didn't watch the show, but I watched enough people talk about it where they're like, why in the fuck is this character telling this character the plan? And then that character's telling that character the plan. And then that character's telling that. Why in the fuck are we not just telling everybody the plan one fucking time so we can move the fuck on?
And they're doing it because they think that a bunch of TikTokers and people on their phones are watching the show, so they're not fucking paying attention. So
they're not actually watching the show, which holy fuck, man, like maybe that was the reason, like, just to massively shift gears for a mere moment. Maybe that's the reason why so many people said in episode 1, Daredevil sunk a ship. But you just weren't paying attention. You're on your fucking phone, and you're like, oh, I see Daredevil on a ship. Back to TikTok. Oh, the ship's in the water. Daredevil sunk a ship.
And this is what I hate about the Netflix philosophy. If we have dumb motherfuckers who are just watching this on their phone, don't watch it on your phone, because
I mean, I'm not going to tell people not to watch stuff on their phone, especially dependent. Like, there's so many different You're sitting there waiting for a flight. Watch the fucking show on your phone.
Yeah, I mean, don't watch the show and then play on your phone.
Like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
If you're in your room,
one screen at a time, people.
One device at a time. It's 20-something minutes. You can fucking spare the time to get off fucking whatever you're doing and you go, oh yeah, awesome shit happened. Okay, boom, it's breezy. We even said our problem is it's so breezy, we want more. You could literally bang this out 25, 26, 27 minutes. I'm being generous with that, but in that time frame, and bam, it's quicker than the time it would take for you to think of a clever response on your fucking Twitter to your EU argument. And that's what I hate about that Daredevil scene, is that not even fucking journalists were apparently watching the fucking show, because they all the same thing. Remember, we saw a ton of articles. Daredevil blows up a ship. Kingpin blew up the ship. So I'm so glad, because we were right. Every fucking reviewer, except for a couple, there's a few of them. Shout out to Angry Joe. I know he'll never watch us, but if you do, I fucking love your channel. He said they scuttled the ship, and I go, someone else, thank God. Like, what?
That's amazing.
I watch his review, and he goes, and he's got another reviewer on there, Alex, that everybody hates, but that's just because he's just blunt, and he's kind of like us. And he goes, oh yeah, when he scuttled the ship, I go, thank you. Thank you. And then they said at the last episode, oh yeah, Kingpin blew up the ship. Yeah, because Kingpin couldn't blow up the ship if it was already fucking blown up.
Right?
Like, that's the plot holes. Remember, we were just talking about plot holes.
Like, now that's intriguing, because it makes me wonder how many people think that something has a plot hole because they heard an incorrect review. Because can you imagine, like, oh, I had something go on, and like I watched Daredevil, but I didn't catch all of the very first scene. You know, like, they got a fucking child, and the child went crazy, and they let the show play, and they're like, well, you know, I only missed 5 minutes of the show. I'll just watch the rest of it. It's like 50 fucking minutes long, so I'm going to get the gist of it. And then you hear somebody else say, oh, Daredevil sunk the ship, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. And then you're like, oh, the ship it's still there with half of it above water. Like, it is not really sunk, is it? And then they blow it to fucking smithereens, and you're like, oh, now it actually blew up. Daredevil didn't blow the ship up either time.
No. And if you weren't paying attention, you'd call it, like we said, you call it a plot hole. And you'd be right, because you'd be like, no.
Yeah, from your incorrect perspective, you would be correct.
Yeah. Which is, but getting back to what Maul doesn't do, which is that very thing, they don't hold your hand, but there's nothing where what they're explaining doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, there's some things I've watched that doesn't hold your hand, but nothing makes fucking sense. It's like, give me something, because yes, I appreciate you're not treating me like an idiot, but the information you're giving me, I can't put it together. So in that case, it's bad. But in this show, it doesn't hold your hand, but they say the information that makes sense that you can piece together. Like, oh, you know, he's gathered Mandalorians and things like that. And he even makes mention, the Mandalorians are good at battle medics. And you're like, oh, okay, so we got Mandalorians. Well, that must be the Death Watch, because obviously that's the group that split up. If you are like
So
us,
excuse me, the theory that I read on Twitter, at least I'm pretty sure it was on Twitter, was X, whatever. Apparently, people think that the Rook cast character, the chick, like his second in command,
yes,
ends up becoming the armorer.
I mean,
And as far as the timelines, it's possible.
it's it. Yeah, it's in that.
But I don't see. Everybody wants cameos. Like, I agree that I'm in the camp of people that is like, for the love of God, I don't need him in all of the show, but can we have Darth Vader show up in one episode to have a duel with Maul, where Maul, does something crazy and barely fucking escapes?
I disagree.
You don't want Darth Vader at all?
No, I liken this to Penguin. Where did we need Batman? No. Maybe you show a shot of Darth Vader on a ship towards the end, and he's like, I've got to deal with this, or something like that. But I don't need him. Like, okay, I will go back to, I love being able to do the one-to-ones, and they're actually not shitty comparisons. Rebels and the way they did that, as soon as you introduced Ahsoka, you needed Darth Vader.
I disagree with that. I disagree. Yeah. As I was watching Rebels, you watch an entire 2.5 seasons almost before Vader shows up. The show is better after he shows up.
I disagree. I think that the show needed to not have anybody because it made me attached to the characters without having my favorites. Because I think that a cameo.
That's why they went for 2+ seasons without having any massive cameos like that.
But I think that it helped because then I started to get into people like Sabine was my favorite character until they fucked her up. Sabine was my favorite character in that show. And then the blind Jedi guy would be second. I forget, he doesn't get blinded until later.
Jairus.
Yes.
Whatever.
Jairus. Those were my two like faves. And like them are okay, but those were the characters I was locked into, especially Sabine, because I love Boba Fett, and Boba Fett's a Mandalorian, and I love, by extension, I love the Mandalorian.
Is Boba Fett a Mandalorian?
Yes.
Jango Fett was a Mandalorian?
Yes. They are of the Mandalorian race. They don't follow the creed per se.
No, I'm only talking about
Mandalorians.
Right, I'm only talking about culturally. Like you could, or maybe culturally is not right, because like religion and culture are almost one and the same.
I can't remember.
You equate it to like being a Jew by blood compared to a Jew by religion.
Exactly.
Like you can be both, but you can also, like, if I became a Jew, I would not, as far as I know, I don't have any Jewish blood in me, but I could become a Jew as far as the religion is concerned, and call myself Jewish and go to the synagogue and all that kind of stuff. Well, you could do that.
There's a difference between being adopted in, but if I remember the lore correctly, and even in that shitty Boba Fett show, he does make mention of it. He is by blood Mandalorian. By their standards, but by the religion.
Is that something? Okay, did we find out that Jango Fett was a Mandalorian in the movies?
I'd have to go back and rewatch them.
I would have to as well,
because I want to say, yeah, I want to say he even built his own armor like they do. So, but once again, I think most of, like, when you get into Jango, Bobo, they broke off from the actual, because remember, there were two sects. There were the highly religious, they were considered zealots, and just the Mandalorians trying to live their life. The people. Because even in the city, when you watch the battle, when they retook Mandalore at the end of season 7 of Clone Wars, there's still just fucking people there in the city. They're all Mandalorian. But, one owns a grocery store. Still fucking Mandalorian. He owns his grocery store on Mandalore. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like now I want to go back and watch the Clone Wars again.
Oh my God, man.
Although it would be nice if they would put them in both sequences. Like have the
Yeah, it's kind of
episode
annoying.
sequence and then have the story sequence.
Yeah, it is annoying following all this, but yeah,
Well,
swinging back to
I remember watching it at the time where, it's Friday night, Clone Wars is on. You turn it on, and then it's Star Wars. So I'm sitting there, I'm intrigued because I'm getting more Star Wars. And then I was like, I look over to my friend Andy, and I was like, "Do you know what the fuck is going on right now? Like, how did we even get here?" He's like, "Oh, well, you remember 2 seasons ago?" I was like, "No, I don't."
And this is my problem when we were talking about episode counts, right? This is why I like 10 episodes, good ballpark, especially for a show like this. 10, maybe 13, because it's so much easier to go back, rewatch something, and
Okay,
get yourself caught up. Even if,
I
like,
think
I only did the last episodes of Clone Wars because I'll be honest with you, I don't like the middle three. And remember how they're broken up in chapters. I like the first three. I
oh yeah,
don't
yeah.
and it kills me because I love Ahsoka, but I hate those fucking two chicks.
You
And
can go
I
back
was
and watch
pissed.
our review on that and see how pissed off we were. We were like, this doesn't
Oh my
fucking matter.
God, dude. And then it got so much. Those last three chapters were bangers. You want to know the definition of filler? Those 3 episodes that were in between. You could have did one episode, had that wacky adventure. Boom, we're back with Kenobi and them. Like, that was filler. That's why I hate when people are talking about Invincible. Like, yes, technically you could call episode 4 a filler, I guess.
I don't think that. Okay, episode 4 feels like a filler now, and I think by the time we get to the end of the show, there's going to be so much connection to that individual episode because shit is going to pop off with the devil, with Volcanica, with what's his name, Blood something.
Blood.
The demon who brings Mark down there. Bloodhaven?
No. Blood or Draken Blood, something like that. Dark Blood.
Damien Dark Blood.
Yeah.
There we go. Like,
Damien
that is going to be connected, and that show is going to, or that exact episode is going to have set up more than we even know, which, I don't know, maybe the first 2 episodes of Shadow Lord set up more than we even know. Because I would like to know, and I presume it's not going to be told to us, but it's going to be shown to us how the Master Jedi, the little turtle-looking guy, what does he look like to you?
Turtle. That's what I was thinking.
The Mitch McConnell Jedi is got to be tracking her in some fashion. Like, he just happened upon her in the middle of the city. Come on now.
Or the fact that he happened upon that transport where he almost got the better of them all before he brought the fucking bridge down.
I don't know if he was going to. So, do you think that his cane turns into a lightsaber?
It's funny you mentioned that because I was trying to fucking figure it out too, and I go, it's got to be the cane. Because
in my mind, what I'm seeing is, what the fuck are those fucking samurai swords that have like the long 2-handed handles?
You know what I'm talking about? King blade.
Yeah, the King blade. So that's what I was expecting, was him to be like holding it, right? So he's like got it in his hand because he's using it as a cane, and then like grabbing the top of the cane, hitting the button, and then picking it up to show him holding it like this, and then fucking go to town. And Maul was like, look at this problem.
The thing is too, and he did the coat thing, and normally when they do the swishy thing, you could see the lightsaber on the side. There was no lightsaber.
Yeah, I didn't.
So
I did not
now I'm going to be really disappointed
lightsaber.
if the cane's not a lightsaber.
Okay, so do you think? Let's do a little speculation. Do you think that Detective Cop is going to end up working with the Master Jedi? What the hell, baby?
I think I want to say, based on the setup, they're making it very clear that the Jedi is tailing the cop, because we saw the scene where he was following him So he has some interest, and he's trying to probably size up where the guy's morals is and what he values. And like exposing yourself as a Jedi is very dangerous now. And clearly the guy has no love for the Empire. So and he has a gist of Jedi and stuff because he says laser swords. That's what the civilians say. He's like, the guy had a laser sword, you know. So he
See, you say civilian, and I would say uneducated.
I it's more of a military thing. You consider, even like in the military, you would consider police officers civilians. They're police officers in the civilian
No, I
structure.
get
They
that.
hold.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that
He would still
I
be
bet,
a civilian.
yeah, but that's like saying every single civilian out there is going to call it a laser sword, and I don't think that's true at all. I think that there are enough older people, like,
But he's pretty old himself.
would you consider Bail Organa a civilian? I would.
Oh yeah. What
Do you think with all of his exposure with the Jedi, he would call it a laser sword instead of a lightsaber? I don't think so.
But okay, well then we're kind of splitting hairs. We're talking about he's more well educated too. Like you said, he's had an exposure, but you can also.
It's not like you have to be Oxford educated. You have to be experience educated. Like people that dealt with the Jedi
before would
are
know.
going to understand their terminology more so than somebody who just.
And you got to remember too, we don't know how many
even remember
planets.
the name of the planet. I thought they were on Coruscant at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, it was
then
not
they said
Coruscant.
some other name, and I was like, "Oh, we're not on Coruscant." Okay, because I was confused he said when the what's his name, Two Boots, the droid. What a great name! Like he says to the guy, "We're anytime that we see Darth Maul, we're supposed to report it right away," and he's like, pump the brakes, guy. Like if we report that, then the Empire is going to come here. And when he said that, I was like, aren't we on Coruscant? Isn't the Empire already here? And then they're like, then they said the name of the planet. I don't remember. It's something Alor or Dor or something like that. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah. And can I just appreciate the fact we are not on the fucking headlight planets? Thank you. I am actually glad it makes the universe, even though this is a smaller story, and thank you, because that was something that was in my mind, and then we got so fucking wrapped up in everything else that was cool. I forgot to mention big points for that. I love the fact that we're doing different worlds, and it's a contained story, but it doesn't feel small. Because the thing is, we've used the same
location.
No,
it doesn't feel small. It feels maul. Because
here's the thing, when you have like the Mandalorian or the Book of Fett, right? When we base it a known planet for the whole entire season, it makes it just feel like a television show that's confined to one thing and one planet. And the thing that I always loved about Clone Wars and the animated shows in particular is that I love that even though it was a story just on this one particular thing, it never felt small because we were always going to new and exciting planets. So YouTube is currently experiencing some issues with API that may represent some user live destination. Okay, thank you.
What the fuck is that? Like, what do you mean from going live? We're already live, and it doesn't say that we're not live. Let's click over on YouTube and see if we're actually still live there.
I mean, from what I see, yeah, I don't.
As we are.
Yep, we're still live.
Weird.
Okay, YouTube.
You wouldn't know that we're live because nobody's watching, which obviously StreamYard is bullshitting me because I have the stream open in another tab and it's telling me that nobody's watching.
But you know what? It's fine because people will watch this on the rewatch.
Yep.
They're just catching up on Maul. They don't want it to be spoiled.
Dude,
which I get it.
if you are a Star Wars fan from any fucking generation, I don't see how you don't like the show. If you only like the sequel trilogy, which I'm sure somebody like that exists out there somewhere, you need to watch the show.
Oh yeah. I would say the highlight, what we could say is watch this show. It's great animation. The voice acting is great. It fits into the timeline very well, and it does something that your premiere needs to do. And make no mistake, even though this is 2 episodes, these are the premiere episodes. And unlike some other shows that have their premieres, I felt like this is the way you start and you get people intrigued. I'm sitting here looking at different articles, and Forbes has already said that Maul Shadow Lord sets a Star Wars Rotten Tomatoes record, which, yeah, we could always believe Rotten Tomatoes, but according to right now, the audience and the critic score are surprisingly being brought together by Maul. Critics are at 100, audience is at 97, and the 97 is because of the 2 EU people who weighed in. Fuck you guys. The 2 angry EU people are like, this is not, they messed up that Jedi. I know who she's gonna be, and in the book, she's not fucking 16, she's 20, and her chest is out, and she's hot. Because I heard that argument too. Apparently, this character is supposed to be someone super important in the EU. But, you know, that old argument again. Also, too, I have seen some clips from later on or the thing, and I think they're bringing in my favorite Dark Jedi, which I hope they don't fuck up, but I believe Revan is supposed to come into the canon. And if you guys don't know who Revan is, awesome. I don't know how that's going to work in the timeline, though, because Revan is supposed to be Old Republic, so I don't know how Revan's going to fit, but that was the gist I got from stuff they were showing. So yeah, but Maul is pulling in them scores. It's got, that went up. So it's got 100%. They're going by the critic score, which is, you can't go by the critic score, but critics are at 100%. When I checked the average from the actual people, it was 97, somewhere in there. But needless to say, they are both. Oh, Paul Tassi. Paul Tassi's a pretty good writer. He does very good game reviews. So Tassi was talking about this. Then he even says the numbers are close to even. And Paul Tassi is a fan of Star Wars. He actually did a review on Jedi Outcasts and Jedi Survivor.
Well, I got a question for you. When people are reviewing stuff, do you trust the people that are not fans of something to review it, or would you rather someone be a fan and review it?
I will tell you what. I can trust a non-fan if the way they're critiquing makes sense. For instance, if they came into Maul and they just say are fans of the first episodes, right? They're not a huge Star Wars fans, but they were like, you know what? Episodes 1, 2, and 3 are my jam, right? And they were like, oh, I remember Maul from episode 1. Let me check this show out, right? They don't know about the Clone Wars. They have none of that other stuff. They're just going into watching Maul because they remember Maul from when they went to see episode 1 and gave them the feels. And then they bring up something like, oh, I liked it, but like something we said, like, I didn't like how this played out or something like that. Then I could be like, okay, they're bringing up something objective we said ourselves. But if it's, say, someone like they hate Disney and they just watch every Disney show that they can shit on it, they have no knowledge of Star Wars, but hey, I want to hate a Disney product. This is gay. What's the deal with his face paint? Stupid.
Well, I
Fucking
mean,
stupid.
I'm sure
Like,
that there are people that have knowledge of Star Wars but don't have knowledge of Darth Maul because they're like, well, I only go by the movies. Like, this is what happened in the movies, which means you didn't see any of the Clone Wars, you didn't see any of Rebels, you didn't watch Solo, because you're like, 6 movies. That's what Star Wars is. And I was like, that's what Star Wars was.
and that's where we get into that's where I get into being objective about things, like, for instance, movies, right, that people hate, and we talk about this all the time, where I say, for instance, the Birds of Prey, the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, okay? People fucking hate that movie. I hate parts of it, especially the overdone, obviously men are bad, blah, blah, blah. But there's something about the movie that I just fucking like. I don't know if it's what's her face's acting or that she's fucking hot. Margot Robbie.
Talking about Birds of Prey?
Yes.
You just like it because it has Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Maybe that's it. Star Wars connection. But it's just, the actors are doing such a great job, and it's just so fun that I just like it, and I can be like, okay, let me give you my objective opinion. These are the actual issues wrong with it, but as a movie, I got enjoyment. Fucking Fast and Furious. Those are not fucking artistic masterworks, but do they blow shit up? Is there hot chicks? Is there ridiculous stunts that could never happen in real life? I'm in. I want to see a car fucking jump from rooftop to rooftop. I fucking enjoyed it. Is it stupid? Does it not make sense? Is it by the laws of physics fucking impossible? Do I give a shit? Like,
no,
so I think
that kind of stuff.
I think it's more of, does your hatred for the particular thing you are boycotting or protest override your ability to think about whether or not something is actually good? Like, take, for instance, what's something, The Acolyte, we can say is objectively bad because just on every level, it is fucking bad. The acting, the dialogue,
well,
even the fucking lightsaber.
Not all of the acting.
I would say 99.9% of the acting is fucking shit.
You know, okay, who's the guy that died? Why can't I think of his name? Ray something?
Soul.
No, the actor who died, the guy who's playing the bad guy.
No. Oh no, that wasn't in The Acolyte. He was in Ahsoka.
Oh, that was Ahsoka. My bad. Sorry.
So you felt so bad for that show. You had to transport another actor. You're like, wait a second.
Pull this guy in. Because what, the Acolyte has the creepy dude with the Kylo Ren mask, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It was like that. When you talk about fanfic, that show is 100% fanfic. That is,
dude, what pisses me off is when they make stuff like that and they make the trailer and the teaser and all that shit, and that's what I end up seeing, and I was like, ooh, this fucker's got potential right here. And then you watch the show and you're like, do you not remember what was in the teaser because you turned it into shit? I was so fucking excited for The Acolyte.
You had Carrie Ann Moss, my love trinity from the fucking Matrix, the most badass fucking bitch in leather. You had her, and someone I want to kill, whoever made this decision, decides that they kill by far the only person who has an ounce of acting besides the guy from fucking Squid Game who plays Soul. He's a pretty decent actor. You had a great fucking actress you could have had an interesting storyline with get killed in the first fucking 5 minutes of your show by a no-name person with not a lightsaber, a fucking knife. A knife. That, I don't know about you, PB. I don't know about you, but I was pissed because I get what they were trying to do with that whole scene, but it was just fucking stupid. It like a knife.
Oh, you remember when we talked about Kenobi and I was like, I wanted to like Kenobi. I love Ewan McGregor. They brought fucking Vader into, like, you got all of the elements to make an excellent fucking show, and they do something really awesome, and then they do something really fucking stupid. What the Acolyte does is nothing, and then something really stupid, and then nothing, and then something really stupid. It's like, guys, fuck, man.
200 million, P. Just $200 million.
I mean, I'll give him credit that it looks clean.
I will give you one thing, and this is what we're talking about, even though we hate something, the difference between hate rating and then actually being objective. I can, if I give the show nothing, I can say the shots, the way it's framed, and fuck, the costumes and the costume designs and stuff. I feel bad for the wardrobe and special effects and things like that because I could see where the money was. Like, you could see it on screen.
Yeah.
The show around it wasn't good.
Like, I'm sorry, like, I get that your biggest expense is never going to be your writers, but I don't think that their biggest expense was the people on camera either. Like, it's a bunch of no-name people in Acolyte.
Except for Carrie Ann Moss.
Well, yeah, when you have one named actor and then somebody says it's a bunch of no-namers, like, I don't know of a single show that doesn't have at least one fucking actor in it that you know.
And the guy who played Soul was from Squid Games, but...
Right, but he's not like a named guy. You don't know his name. He's the guy from Squid Game.
He's the main character.
I mean, let's
he is the...
They don't have anybody like they're going to have in Spider Noir.
Fair enough.
Someone where
you drop Nick Cage, and you're guaranteed you're going to have millions of people watching Spider Noir, dude.
Like, I mean, if you just watched the show and you didn't know who it was, I don't think I would have known off the top of my head that Ahsoka is played by Rosario Dawson with how much makeup they got on her and prosthetic and whatever. I don't think I would have been able to tell.
But to be fair, I give credit to the makeup people because we shouldn't actually feel like that's Rosario Dawson. We should feel like that's Ahsoka. So I get what you're saying. The character sells that show. Like, yes, Rosario Dawson is a pretty well-known actress, great at what she does, and I even think she's great in the show. The shit they give her is fucking terrible, but she is performing the character as I picture Ahsoka in live action. But like you said, the problem with the Acolyte, there's no character in that era of the Republic we know, so we can't go, it's Obi-Wan, who gives a shit about the actor, right? That's Obi-Wan. You know what I mean?
Okay, they don't have any name
character.
actors, and they don't have any name characters until Darth Vader shows up. Like, I don't give a fuck about anything in that show other than the stuff with Darth Vader, and then they made that shit stupid too. Like, oh, I'm gonna grab a ship. Oh, I can't grab that ship though, but I'm still fully like ready to go to have an entire lightsaber duel where I don't even fucking use my lightsaber and I just block you with the Force. But I couldn't grab the second ship. Like, fuck, man. I hate that fuck. Like, this scene is so cool because you've never seen a lightsaber duel like that before because it's not like an actual lightsaber duel in the traditional aspect of, you know, banging your sticks together. But it's fucking spectacular. But the fact that it's framed by something so fucking dumb, oh my god.
And the problem with the Acolyte is they didn't frame anything good like that to where we could say, well, yeah, it sucked, but here, because we've gone back and forth. But one thing, I don't think we've ever agreed that a show purely sucks before the Acolyte. Even with like She-Hulk and shit, we've made jokes. You still maintain, if you look at it as a comedy, I maintain I'd rather have cancer than look at it either way. But even with, like, for instance, you make an argument for She-Hulk or let's say Batwoman, there is an argument to be made that I hate She-Hulk for everything it represents and the outwardly feminist thing and the shitty attitudes of the actors and actresses. But I'm not going to lie, the dude who jumps out of the window made me laugh my ass off. I'm not going to say it didn't have moments where I hated myself for liking it, or everybody gets mad about Daredevil doing the walk of shame, but I don't think they ever watched. But I don't think you got it. No one ever watched the original Netflix show because they would realize Matt Murdock's a whore. He slept with Watson. There's a scene. PB, watch the original Daredevil. There's a flashback where he meets Elektra. And he's in a college, and he literally uses the fact that he's blind to pick up the hottest fucking woman in the room. He uses his disability, and he's like, hey, can I get your number? And she's like, can you see? Because, he goes for the lower chest. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, there's moments in that where, like, Daredevil likes him so bad. And if you're telling me he wouldn't fuck Tatiana Maslany or She-Hulk in her form or not in her form, you're a fucking liar. If I was Matt Murdock and I could be She-Hulk, my issue was never that she was not hot. That was not my issue with the show at all. Green or not. As a matter of fact, I would argue green. I know she could crush me, but I'm willing to take the chance.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that was never my issue.
I am willing to get pop clawed for the opportunity.
I was thinking the same thing. But here's the thing. The show pissed me off because it's supposed to be this rah-rah feminism, yet she is doing all the same shit that guys do. So I'm really fucking confused about what your message is supposed to be in the show. I'm supposed to feel like shit for being a guy, but yet your fucking strong female lead is doing the, I would argue, worse than most dudes I know. So what's up?
I mean, I would say it's even worse than that because she's got more to work with. What's up, Justin? What are you doing? You done with your cruise?
We're going to do a tier list when you're done fucking on a cruise, man. And you didn't take us. We'll see. Right?
Like, oh, you got to rewind a little bit and you can see the wee little baby, Justin. Okay, you're back home. Why are you not on the stream?
We're talking Maul.
Did you not watch Maul Shadow Lord? Because you should have.
It's a breezy 25 minutes.
No, to watch both episodes is probably going to take you like, let's say, 40. Less than 45.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. And it's great.
What?
Because it's great because we know it's not made by Kathleen Kennedy.
No, I did see somebody make a hilarious post. They're like, Dave Filoni approves season 2 of his show.
Dude, I was laughing about that too. I'm like, that's how you do it. He was like, Maul, the show I created, made.
Well, okay. The thing that what I'm afraid of is it could go either way. Like, the overall story of Star Wars could be hurt if Dave is focusing more exclusively on the stuff that he is doing. Like, this show is a show that he's doing. He wasn't doing The Acolyte. He was coming up with this show when The Acolyte was going down. You know what I mean?
Thank God.
So the overall story could hurt. Or the TV shows that he is, let's say, the primary writer for, those could also be hurt if he has to focus on the overall story. Like, he definitely needs to put himself in the position. Don't cut me off. He needs to put himself in the position that Kevin was in at the beginning of the MCU, because the middle of the MCU is shit because he's being pulled in 50 million fucking directions.
I do think, though, like, for the new movie coming out, if you look, Mando and Grogu, Favreau is the director. Dave wrote the story with Favreau, yes, but he is the director and stuff like that. So I think he could still do the writing, the tightening up of the script, while letting somebody else do, like, because I imagine a fucking movie would be very distracting to launching this Maul show. So I think, like you said, he could still do that. Okay, I know Favreau knows how the show runs. He's going to do the movie. I watched the behind the scenes. You see Favreau behind the camera giving his fucking 50 explanations about, and I love Favreau, but fuck you for Lion King. Anyway, because he gave the same speech. We wanted to make it more realistic. Okay, John, we get it. You got super fucking awesome cameras, whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry. That just pisses me off. But I do think he does have that grasp, and I think he only really wants to attend the animated shows, and I would be fine with that because clearly he gets it with the animation. He's been doing this since under fucking George, and clearly he's perfected the animated side of things, and it will also make it more coherent, and people understand things in the timeline a lot better. Like, yes, this show is directly connected to this. It's story here, and then do a movie and be like, you could even do what you did with episode 3. You didn't have to really watch Clone Wars to go into episode 3, but fuck, that movie makes a lot more sense if you've watched the end of the Clone Wars into the movie, and you see where Palpatine actually got fucking kidnapped, and then you go into the movie and you go, oh yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, they started this here, now here's the battle, but it's on the big screen. I think,
I mean, that was one of the things I liked about this show so much, was that it just starts.
and I watched it while watching the end of Clone Wars, and it makes complete sense because when you see him steal Ahsoka's ship and escape, I go, oh, he was escaping to go do Maul. so like, boom, there's my connection. Like, he fucked over Ahsoka. He's like, well, I guess she's not on board. I'm gonna go get revenge.
I'm really hoping to go back on the speculation of the show bandwagon here. I'm really hoping, because apparently, like, it's 2 episodes every week, so it's going to be 5 weeks of shows, and on season finale day just happens to be May the 4th be with you.
Yes, I'm so fucking...
Which makes me hopeful that there's going to be something big that happens that we don't know about.
And the 2 episodes are called Strange Allies and Final. So chapter 9, Strange Allies, that makes me think there might be some, let me put on my cowboy tin hat for a second. That makes me think if you put in your title Strange Allies, there's some kind of cameo.
Yeah, the only thing that I fear is that Strange Allies means that Maul is going to work with the one Jedi that we've been introduced to.
Or
I hope not.
Or the cop.
Or it could be the cop.
But I, like you said, if we're doing fun speculation, because that's what it is, and I'm finally glad we can have a show where we can have these fun little speculation moments. I'm going to say that you don't do, like, if you do it in the middle of the title like that in the middle, then I could go with that. But your last 2 episodes, I feel like a title like that, because look back at the other shows, whenever they had titles like that with like some kind of little weird thing, there was always that. For instance, I was watching Bad Batch, and the one when Rex comes back, it's called Old Friends, New Enemies. Old friends, New enemy. Like, they've always been pretty much like the title is kind of giving you a hint. And like, yes, at that point, you know, they know a lot of people. So they could have been fucking talking about anyone. They had those two fucking dumb bitches from Clone Wars season 7, the ones that I hate, the one with the bowl cut and the other chick. Ugh. I had forgotten about them, and then I get to that Bad Batch episode. I'm like, oh God, no, because like they're going through the factory or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is great, and then I hear a voice. I'm like, that fucking annoying voice. Where do I know it from? Because I skipped over the episodes, and then they took off the helmet. I'm like, no, you've infected this show. I hope this is the last time. And then they do that stupid little, well, maybe we'll see each other someday when you pick a side. And I was like, can we not ever see you again?
All right, let's go ahead and not pick sides then.
Let's not pick your side. You said I had to pick a side.
Yeah,
not picking yours.
Like, if you pick the opposite side, then you have to fight that person. And they're still there. No picking.
There's multiple sides at this point in the galaxy.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it the Darth Maul way, or I guess now it's just Maul. No more Darth, I guess.
Nope.
So you gotta do it the Maul way, and you pick
the Shadow Lord way.
You pick your own side.
I am glad, because I am most definitely positive that we're not going to have the two fucking girls in this show. So unless maybe he kills them. Not. I would only want them in the show if he kills them, and then we know what happened to them on the timeline. Well,
I guess.
Because he could. It's still after Clone Wars, they're still out there. My headcanon is, after he escaped from Ahsoka, he landed on a planet, found out those two bitches betrayed him, killed them, and now they're not in the timeline anymore.
I can work with that.
That's my EU story.
That's a good fanfic.
Yeah, see? Look at that, EU guys. I made my own fanfic. You gonna fucking read it and make it gospel now? Fucking weirdos. So anyways, unless you're an EU fan, this is a great show.
Even if you are an EU fan, it's a great show.
No, because apparently, you know, and I want to just touch on something really quick before we wrap this up, because it's so hilarious how these channels that make particular content, they want Kathleen Kennedy out. We got confirmation she's out. And now Dave's gonna fuck it up too. And it's like, Jesus Christ, who you want to put George back in here? Newsflash, he ain't coming back.
That's the only person that they would probably be okay with.
It's like these people forget, but the North remembers. I remember a time when all you fuckers were pissed at the sequel trilogy, and I hate you motherfuckers that jump on the bandwagon, because I defended that shit from day one, except for Jar Jar. I'm sorry, I know the actor had a rough go.
You said sequel.
I'm sorry, prequel. Where you motherfuckers jumped on the George was under fire. Do you realize that's why George left? You people are to blame. Okay? I'm just gonna say it. You people who ganged up on George and you gave him shit for episodes 1, 2, and 3. He said, oh, fucking K, Disney, see if you can do better. And now look what we got. And now all these same motherfuckers are like, George was like, Jesus, he could do no wrong. I remember the love story, folks. It was not good. It is still not good. I still fast forward it. It is terrible. Attack of Clones, me and PB have debated this, but objectively, it's not very good with its love story. The battle scenes are cool. I still get that feeling in my stomach I got in the theater where fucking when Yoda throws down his fucking cane and jumps all around the place. Still get fucking excited like a little kid. Yes, the flashing lights, I like all that. But let's be honest, it objectively is the weakest one out of that prequel trilogy. And all of you fuckers were giving George a problem. And then all of you same fucks were excited by Disney taking over. Remember that? I remember that, PB. Oh, yeah. People were fucking excited. And then we got Rogue One. And you know what? people were fucking excited, and you can.
I mean, people were still excited for The Force Awakens. Even the people that were like, "Oh, all they did was remake the original Star Wars, but with their new characters." Yeah, but you were still excited because you didn't know where it was going.
Before we got Last Jedi, people were still, and even those who were skeptical, they still, like a lot of you fuckers with Game of Thrones, still made excuses for how it was going to get better, and it never did. But you fuckers were still in that. So, you know what? I have seen Dave's track record. They fucked up the Book of Fett, but to be fair, that was a joint effort by Favreau, and I believe there were like 16 other different writers, so I'm not really going to lay that on them. But Mandalorian, minus season 3, a little bit distracted, power struggle going on. I'll let that slide. But, I mean, look at Mando, look at Clone Wars, look at all of the stuff that Dave has worked on. I don't see a bad series in there, so I don't understand why there's this thing where people are now coming out, well, Dave was never good, and he ruined this, and he super secretly was working with Kathleen Kennedy on this. Dave was not working with Kathleen on shit, because Kathleen was apparently not working with any fucking body. She would give somebody a fucking script and say, go make it. I don't care what you do. And we know that's a fucking fact because we all saw The Last Jedi and the sequel trilogy. That's not actually a trilogy because it doesn't make fucking sense at all. It's just a set of movies that came out. Like, so you don't sit here and tell me in all of these articles and these people fucking reaching going, well, Dave had said this back in 92 about how he wanted to make Strong Wind. He did. It's called fucking Ahsoka. And you know what? You fuckers like her. So don't fucking sit here and tell me Dave never made his own characters that you didn't like. Because if I remember correctly, Ahsoka's a fucking fan favorite. So much so that there were people bitching, myself included, about the Ahsoka show and the way that they portrayed Sabine. And don't tell me you don't like Rebels because y'all knew who the fuck Sabine is. And Sabine is not introduced until Rebels. And don't tell me you didn't like fucking Thrawn because you fucks that didn't say you watch Rebels. You specifically said to me, oh, well, in Rebels, they did him much better because he was more vicious. And that's why I don't like him. Well, how the fuck did you know that if you didn't fucking watch Rebels? So don't tell me Filoni has not made good shit. I hate this fucking argument, and they do the same thing with fucking James Gunn. Don't tell me he didn't make fucking good DC shows. He did fucking Creature Commandos, and I know I'm the only one who watched that. Let me use a better example. He did the Suicide Squad, and everybody who watched that liked it. I'm not talking about the 2008. I'm talking about the Suicide Squad with Peacemaker. And all you fuckers watch Peacemaker, and you like that. Like, so I hate this whole thing that when you get the person you want, you shit on them, and then you wonder why we get shit. Like, let them cook. He's literally in his first show.
There's only one other person that I can think of that I would want in Dave Filoni's current role as president of Lucasfilm. Right? It's still called Lucasfilm?
Yeah. Or Disney.
Sam Witwer.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He's the only other fucking person.
And if I remember correctly, he has some kind of creative say. He's the supervising, or wait, hold on.
Well, yeah, he's integrated into what they're doing.
Yeah, he is the supervising director, and he is one of the head writers.
Which is good, but if we're talking about president, and the way that I look at it is, so we'll average everything out, right? We'll just do the average. Like, George Lucas, his Star Wars is an A, right? We just average it all to an A because some stuff is perfect, some stuff ain't perfect. It's a fucking A. And then Dave Filoni is like a B, like a solid B. Like, you got a fucking B, unless you're one of these fucking weirdos out there, you'd be pretty happy with a B, right? I'd be happy with a B.
I was always happy with a B.
Fucking
I was like, how the fuck did I get this?
That's pretty good. Everybody else that has made Star Wars in any fashion, show, comic, movie, are below that. So it's like, who the fuck else could you possibly put in charge than the person who is, I don't know, literally handpicked by George Lucas to succeed him in continuing the story of Star Wars? That's what happened.
And George,
like, who should I have my Padawan be? Ooh, I'll pick this guy with the cowboy hat. He seems to know what's going on. And then they work together for at least 6 years while he's making the Clone Wars. And he's like, yep, this is the guy that's going to succeed me. And then they sold it to Disney. And yeah, they took Dave with them, but they're like, you're just a writer. We didn't put you in charge of stuff. Huge
And
mistake.
then,
Huge fucking mistake.
and then they did Kennedy, and they were like, "Holy fuck!" Hey, Dave.
Okay, in my mind, this TV show right here is our emergence from the dark era. And then we're going to get Mando and Grogu as soon as this show is over, and we're going to rocket shit back up. You just watch.
And I've been saying, because
And the same people that hated Star Wars for the last decade will continue to hate it because they backed themselves into a corner.
And here's the crazy part too, because, and I could say this because I went to see Mario Galaxy, which, by the way, 9, I know people are shitting on it and it has no plot or whatever. It's fucking Mario. Get over it. Anyways, went to see Mario movie. You know what preview they had?
Mando and Grogu.
You know what my fucking audience did? It was about 30 people. They were like, oh, ooh, and then I heard, we definitely got to go take the kids to see that. If you think this movie, there are these crazy fuckers who are saying, nobody's talking about Mando and Grogu, it's going to bomb. Let me just tell you something you people fail to realize. Families like to go to the movies. People know The Mandalorian. People know, yeah, there's some violence here and there, but there's that cute little fucker, and my kids love him, and I brought the fucking toy, and there's even some fucking weirdo house moms out there who have Grogu, you fucking freaks, call me.
You're talking about my mother.
Well, we're close, but we're not that close. Anyways, so yeah, I rest my case though. Thank you for bringing that up, because you bring up an excellent point. Your mom, is she a big Star Wars fanatic, would you say?
She don't give a fuck about Star Wars.
But she knows who Grogu is.
Damn right.
So I think people, and look, here's the thing. I will admit, I haven't seen anything in the trailer to where I see what the real hook. It just kind of reminds me of a longer episode of Mandalorian.
It just seems like it's going to be a long episode, but we get a Razor Crest 2.0 back.
And I believe we get a conclusion, the wrap up to the story. But like, here's the thing. First off, season 3 needs to be redeemed, so I'll take a fucking movie any day. Secondly, this is the first Star Wars movie in what, like 6 years now? Because Rise of Skywalker was like a couple of years ago.
So the Rise of Skywalker was in 2019.
Yeah. Well, we're in 2025.
We're in 2026.
Shit. 2026. See, that's what happens when you get old, kids. So 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Yeah, I know.
Well, you could say 2025 for the counting of years because it came out Christmas. So it came out at the end of 2019. So it's been, let's say, 5.5 years.
Close enough, but that's a
how many, like, Rian Johnson was supposed to get his own trilogy, Rey was supposed to get her own trilogy, none of that shit happened. Like, they just been like, oh, what movie is not gonna suck? Oh, we created a character that people who don't even fucking know what Star Wars is love, let's make a movie.
And I'm telling you right now, I am going to do, for the first time ever, a perp-like bold prediction, because he says this for every fucking goddamn movie he goes to see. Shout out to Perp. This movie is gonna make $1 billion. I'm calling it right now. At least 1 billion. And this is me lowballing it, because quite possibly, if word of mouth is good, and if the which you people never factor in, because we can sit here on our corners of the internet and talk about how mad we are, but guess what? The people who go to see these things 95% of the time ain't watching us and ain't going, oh my God, Geeks and Gamers said this is going to suck. Or, Sean Stackhouse or this one or that one said this is going to suck, so I better not go and see this. No, they're not listening to us. People I talk to in the bar who have no fucking idea about anybody here on the internet would come in and go, you see that new Star Wars? Looks pretty good. Gonna take the wife and kids to go and see it. That is the market that makes the money. Mario Galaxy, the numbers aren't in yet, but I'm fairly sure that's going to do $1 billion. I saw my screening at fucking 9:30 to avoid kids. There was still a fucking massive group of kids at the movie. Thank God they weren't obnoxious little fucks. Everyone was actually pretty good. And they were clapping for fucking Mario. So just imagine a new Star Wars that has resonated with so many people. And you can say and tell me, well, Zod, it's been around since season 1, 2, and 3. The buzz has died down. It's dead. This was weird. No, it has not. Because if I still go into the bar and I go, hey, anybody know who this little green fucker is? You'd be like, oh, yeah, Baby Yoda. Love that. That's from that show. Love that show. And Pedro Pascal, yeah, he plays that guy with the guns. Love it. They don't fucking know what a Mandalorian is. But they're going to go and see the movie because they had fun and they enjoyed it. All right, so was I close with my estimation?
About what?
No, I was saying it's on its way. I'm thinking
on its way to what?
$1 billion?
I mean, it's a third of the way there, and it's only been 5 days? 6
Not
days?
even, yeah. 5 days, you're right. It's not even a week. So, and we're talking Mario Galaxy, which has that appeal. And I think that
it depends on how much it drops off in the second weekend. You know what I mean?
And I might go see it again, so I don't think it's going to.
Because the fact that the domestic is higher than the international means that the number is going to be smaller, because stuff like the Avengers getting over 2 billion is because like the foreigners usually take care of 60+%.
But to be
there's more
fair,
people
if we're
in
using
the rest
the
of the
original
world.
Joker as a metric, you don't need the foreign market.
What?
The original Joker didn't need the foreign market, and it was an R-rated movie. We're talking about a kids movie that's easier for us to pull it up if people watch it.
I don't know, guy. You're exactly wrong. It made $1 billion, 68.9% international. That's what I'm saying. Like the stuff that goes over $1 billion easily, the international numbers gotta be higher. I'll tell you which one isn't like that, which is probably good for Mando and Grogu, is The Force Awakens, because I'm pretty sure that's split like 50-50 and it made $2 billion. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, I can't remember if it was in a Star Wars example or, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's 45 to 54 or 46, whatever. 45.
Because I was going to say, there are some things that are just going to make more money in the States because it's more. I'm actually surprised by Mario. Don't know because Japan, it should have did fucking gangbusters.
Mario.
Because Mario is a Japanese product.
Okay, so the first movie, 1.3 billion with 57% international.
That is, so we get and keep in mind too, this is only 5 days, so we don't know if the international number is going to go up.
Right, I don't know. Did it release worldwide everywhere? Is it in
China?
That's
true. I don't know if it has released worldwide everywhere.
Doesn't. Okay, yeah, it's in China and it only made freaking $8 million in China.
But Mario's never been a Chinese thing. It's more of a Japanese thing.
No, I know what it is, guy. All I'm saying is the ratio that we're doing for domestic to international is not conducive to going over $1 billion. But let's say it drops 25%, right?
Yep.
So 75% of, we'll just round up, 400 million is another 300 million. And now you're at 700 million and you only been out 2 weeks. So if they can keep the drop from falling too much, then they'll still be golden to make it to $1 billion.
The problem with this year too, and this is there was a movie called They Will Kill You, which I thought was excellent, and that didn't do well at the box office, is because there's so much good shit as opposed to last year. Remember last year we did not have very many good movies at all. So this year there's so many good options because They Will Kill You was running next to Ready or Not, and people stupidly thought it was the same kind of movie. It's more of Kill Bill as opposed to Ready or Not. But yeah,
$15 million worldwide.
Yeah, it did not do that well at all. Now look up Ready or Not too.
Okay.
And I'll show you.
It really has nothing to do with a Maul review.
No, we can swing it back around.
31 million.
Yep. Huge fucking.
But it's doing way better in America than it is internationally.
And that's where I'm saying too, but horror is a whole different other thing. They can have lower.
Yeah, I feel like they need to make more. I feel like they need to make more money for this exclusively based on the cast that I know is in the movie.
Yeah, and I think that cast
a pretty penny on the cast.
And I think the cast plays more in the States than they do internationally. Like, how many people in different countries, and you guys can add this in the comments, how many people in other countries would just see Sarah Michelle Gellar and go, I'm going to see that? I would, because I've had a crush on her since fucking forever.
What the fuck
is would Pegasus? Someone in China feel the same way?
What is Pegasus 3?
I have no clue. I know what Project Hail Mary is. That was pretty good.
Right, and look,
Project Hail. How the fuck is Wuthering Heights at 5? That's a smutty. Oh, it's a smutty romance movie. Never mind.
Yeah, it's obviously a Chinese movie. If the foreign box office is 613 million, and the domestic is 1.
Click on Pegasus 3 because now I'm curious. Maybe if I see the graphic, I'll know.
It's definitely a Chinese movie.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Bearing the glory of being king of B, Zhang Qi once again embarks on his racing journey, aiming not only to win the race, but also to achieve something beyond the competition himself.
I mean, they fucking sold me on the synopsis. Now I want to see
a racing car movie. I feel like I've seen a lot of those recently.
To be honest, though, have they been terrible? Not really.
So how long has this movie been out?
Just a week. Probably at the same time around that Mario has come out. This has been its #1 competitor.
Okay.
I have heard great things about the movie.
So have I, but once again, it's doing a 50-50 split.
So, like you, if your prediction holds true, this one's going to make a shit ton of money. Because
Guy, it's not going to make a shit ton of money. What I'm telling you is the stuff that makes a shit ton and easily goes over $1 billion is when it's like 60% foreign, 40 domestic, because the domestic numbers usually stay about the same, but the foreign numbers vary wildly. Like Avengers. So, it's got Doomsday on here. I wonder how many people have, like, they probably already sold some tickets for that shit. Endgame, domestic, 858 million compared to 1.91 or 1.9 billion, like 70-30. So you're still going to get your 800. I'm trying to think of what the one, I think it's Top Gun, if I recall properly. Click on Top Gun Maverick here. See, that one's like 50-50. So you're always going to get your, like, let's say 600 to 800 million for these big blockbusters. You're always going to get that in America. And then the worldwide is what's going to be your deal breaker. So if they would have had a fucking 60 or 70% split here, you would have had another, what, 600, or if that's 50-50, you'd have another 700 million. It would have been a $2.2 billion movie if it would have had the international appeal.
Interesting. So I have learned a lot.
I'm sure you have. It's just looking at numbers, guys.
You know,
Infinity War is the same way. Like, it was a little smaller than Endgame, but it's still 66 to 33. So, like I said, to clear $1 billion, you need to have the international market.
well, bringing it back to Grogu and Mando, that's gonna fucking have the international market.
I would think so. Star
Dude,
Wars movie.
I mean, the fucking foreign market loves anything that's.
I mean, here we'll look at your most loved movie of the year so far. Domestic, 57%. That is terrible for their box office. Like 200 million still might be good for Scream 7. I don't know how much it costs to make.
No, actually, they're saying it's not a bomb, but it's definitely under projections because Scream 7 had the production issues. Remember, they basically reshot the whole fucking movie because of the shit with the actress that they fired. And then Jenna Ortega leaving, so they had to restructure the movie. So I don't think 200 million, like, it would be good for a Scream movie. Like any other Scream that had 200 million, as such the prior Scream movies. They're not really designed to be the big ones, but they got enough of the pull. But that is not good for this Scream movie because the production budget is definitely way more than that. They need, I'm gathering, they need at least 300 million for it because reshoots and they brought in a new writer and then they brought in Kevin Williams to direct. So I'm gathering, no, they're probably not happy with that box office at all. I'm actually glad because that is a fucking terrible. I mean, and it's funny, you look at 200 million and you're like, for an R-rated horror movie, like we saw Ready or Not and the other ones weren't in 200 million. People would kill for that. But then you look at the context and you say, well, look at everything else Scream has done. And then look at what they were doing with this movie in recent years and how long it took. And then the 200 million isn't that great of a thing anymore. And that is what we call flopping or not. It's not, if it's a low number, it's a low number in relation to the cost of the movie.
So, Easter weekend, the best movie ever is Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. This is just the domestic number, and it hit 180 million.
Which still baffles me to this day that movie made so much fucking money.
But opening weekend for Super Mario, yeah, we're a little past the weekend, so it's got a couple extra days in there. It's at 190 million already.
Which is great.
It's on pace to be the best movie that ever started on Easter.
And not only that, it's almost past Scream 7. So, woohoo!
I mean, it's past Scream 7 in the overall by like $160 million, guy.
Well, no,
Mario's at 372 total. Scream is at 209.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Overall, it's 372. I got this.
And domestically, it's 70 million ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And either way, woohoo!
Exactly. Okay, we gotta wrap this freaking stream up. We're not even talking about Star Wars anymore.
Okay, so point is, if we had domestic numbers for Maul, they would almost be in the billion.
I wonder if they'll ever make a movie with him.
Yeah, can we get another one that's not Solo?
Well, let it be. It can be like let it be at this time.
Yeah,
Like, I want to see him do some crazy shit.
well, I think, and relating everything that's Star Wars to each other, I think Mando and Grogu doing good is what we need, because then we could get a Maul project or something a little bit outside of the box, and they won't be afraid to put it in movie theaters when they see the numbers. So we need to support the Maul show, so they go, hey, this is a popular character, and then go out and see the fucking Star Wars movie, so they're not like, oh, we can't release movies because people hate them, and then we can get some good shit going on. And I think that Dave has got a really good start here. I think this is an excellent show, and I think you guys should check this out. And I am super excited for the next episodes. And thank you, Disney, both days, for fucking up my sleep cycle, because now I gotta fucking stay up on Sunday, do a review on Monday, and or not even Monday because I work. I gotta do a review on Tuesday, and then that fucking day I gotta watch tonight Daredevil boys and fucking Invincible.
Okay.
So
I'll wait till after the show to ask you it.
So thank you. You guys are killing me. But
Well
we do
fed.
it for you.
I feel well fed.
Yeah, we're eating well. We might even be getting to the point where we're becoming
Very gluttonous.
Gluttonous, yes. Gluttonous. But this is the year of great shows, great movies, and my lists are gonna suck. It's gonna be so hard. I'm gonna wind up cutting something I like, and I hate it. I
Almost
fucking
certainly.
hate it. That there's gonna be like, I want to make a 20 movie list, and you're gonna be like, no, it's top 10, and I'm gonna be like, can't we just
honorable mention number 10?
Yep, we might have to extend the honorable mention list.
It'd be like number 10 and honorable mention number 10, number 9 and honorable mention number 9.
Yeah, because man, top 10 is hard, but that proves that you can't just be a good show now. With all of this stuff going on, you got to be great. And I don't know yet, but I think this has potential to be a great show, like Andor and the other Hall of Famers that we've gotten. I really got a great feeling, which I didn't have watching the first episode of Daredevil, so already back to a great start. And I like that I'm back in the universe. I'm feeling good, and this gets me really pumped to go see The Mandalorian. So good job. I can't believe fucking Star Wars is resuscitating, and we're still waiting on Marvel and everybody else to get their shit together. So all in all, good year. We got good stuff. We got the Punisher show coming too. We got
it's just a special. It's not a show.
You get what I mean. Yeah, and we got the Spider-Man Brand New Day. I mean, this sucks, man. This sucks.
Spider Noir.
Spider Noir. I'm never fucking sleeping, PB. I'm never sleeping.
Nope. Pop some Adderall.
Got to do some speed and keep going. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. This has been your dark reviewers, your dark overlords, your Sith, or your dark Kryptonian. The Sith Lord
combo.
The Sith Lord General Zod. I mean, is the Lord higher than a general? Kind of the same difference, right?
Don't be angry, you little baby.
Anyways, we gotta go. He's saying, hey, wrap this up. Wrap it up. I'm looking adorable. So I can't even do my catchphrase. That is, you just ruined it. He's so cute. He's so cute. How am I supposed to do my catchphrase?
He's pretty narcissistic. He's just looking at himself on screen. Yeah, that's you.
He's like, yeah, I have the power. So, as always, remember, thank you guys for watching and for tuning in. And hey, when you're here, there is only one rule, and that rule is kneel before
the cuteness. Kneel before the cuteness. Look at how cute.